What's going on, guys? Dr. Natty here from Myokinetix Physical Therapy and Performance. Today, I will give you my top exercises for rotator cuff strengthening. The reason why this is important because we live in a world where you're forward and all these rotator cuff muscle in the back here are actually being overpowered by the bigger muscle like your pec. And the reason why I noticed because I have a left rotator cuff tear. And I did it when I used to compete in weightlifting. I thought I needed to get surgery immediately, but guess what? I didn't, because I did all these exercises that I'm gonna give you. So let's get right into it. All right, so the first exercise we're gonna do is called a scaption or the full can, right? This is gonna help you strengthen your supraspinatus, which is one of the main rotator cuff muscle that help you lift your arm up overhead like this, right? So the reason why we have to strengthen that, because everything that we do in life evolved reaching our arm overhead, right? So first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna get a small band, just like so. The band here is gonna act as a resistant. When you have the band and you pull it apart, it's gonna activate the supraspinatus muscle a lot more. So if you add the band in conjunction with lighter weights, because we want higher reps when it comes to strengthening these rotator cuff muscle, they are small. Therefore, they get tired really, really fast. So I don't want you to actually use heavier weight. If you use heavier weights, guess what? You're gonna compensate it by using your deltoids and your pecs, which is literally not what we wanna do. We wanna target and isolate those muscles as much as we can. So I'm gonna recommend using a band like this. Light dumbbells, this is only 5 pounds. And all you're gonna do, get a place on the wall, right? You're gonna pull the band apart here. And all I want you to do, pushing your lower back into the wall so you don't arch your back like so. You're gonna slowly bring this up to where you feel comfortable. I don't really go all the way overhead. I try to go about my ear height and then come back down. Notice how I do this nice and slow. And the rep scheme I'm aiming for is gonna be 15 to 20 reps, 3 to 4 sets. And again, this is great if you guys have some sort of shoulder impingement, because your supraspinatus get caught in your subacromial space, right? So we're strengthening these guys. You can have great range of motion and great strength in your supraspinatus. So that way, when you do your main lifts, like your bench, your shoulder press, you actually have supporting structure from your rotator cuff muscles. And again, try to pay attention to when you're doing this, so you're not hiking your shoulder. You want this to be nice and relaxed. So that way you're keeping your upper traps out of the way. And notice as I'm doing this, I try to breathe out as I'm lifting up. And if you feel tired before the 15 reps, make sure you rest and then do it again. And great things about these exercises I'm giving you, you can do it before and after your workout as your accessory. Great. All right, next one, we're gonna actually strengthen your infraspinatus with some Sideline ER. And Cody's here to join me with this. So first you're gonna do, you need a little small thing, a towel that you can put underneath here. So what we want is we actually want to have this pin right underneath your rib cage so you can actually pivot off of this, right? You notice when people do this, they don't pivot, they're actually almost like lifting it up, which is actually working your deltoid, not your rotator cuff muscle. So you're gonna lay on the side, put this underneath, right? So again, from there, you wanna squeeze this down, keep it at 90 degrees. Again, you don't wanna bring your shoulders up, you wanna hike this down, support your head here. And all you're gonna do, you're gonna pivot by bringing this up and then control your way down. If you do this correctly, you should feel fatigue within 5 reps. And again, because they are smaller muscle and they're high endurance muscle, we wanna target to do 10 to 15 reps on these guys, 3 to 4 sets. So notice, like I mentioned before, I have a left rotator cuff tear. So this one gonna feel significantly weaker compared to the other one. So when I do this, I'm really focused on making sure I have good form. So when I feel tired right now, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna stop, I'm gonna shake it off. I can drop the weight down and then just do it without the weight. And it will be just as challenging if you do it correctly. Now, if you guys are dealing with this and it's the first time doing this, I suggest start even less than 5 pounds. Go 2.5 or even just go body weight. Notice I'm pivoting off the towel. And you can do this, again, right after you work out to make sure you're strengthening all those muscles, or before. Another thing I want to mention as well, if you are having rotator cuff and shoulder issue, it's going to lead into your elbow issues. So all my throwing athletes there, if you have elbows pain, you can always guarantee that you're going to have shoulder limitation of some sort, right? So now from there, now that I feel like it's nice and rest, I'm going to grab the weight back up again, do my second set, and making sure I pivot in the back and not hiking up my shoulder. So if I do 5 here and I'm get tired, I'm going to drop this down and go without weight. Awesome. All right, so this is a variation of external rotation strengthening, your infraspinatus strengthening, okay? Teres minor. We just did one on the floor. Now I'm gonna show you when you have a band axis like this, that you can actually do the exact same thing. I see all my baseball players, when they do this, they don't do it correctly because A, they're missing this to pin and spin off, and B, they try to do it too fast, right? So the setup is everything when it comes to this because it's very easy exercise, and because it's easy, you're really prompted to do it wrong, right? So you want this here, right underneath. You're gonna pin this down, right? You wanna make sure your shoulder is dropping down like so, not up, right? And you're gonna squeeze this here. From here, you're just gonna pivot off right here. Again, line of pull is also important. If I'm facing this way, you see how the line of pull is not the same. So I wanna really face where the band is gonna be, right? So I'm gonna be right here. Notice the tempo that I'm doing it really, really slow. I wanna make sure that when you feel the burn is all the way back here, nothing in the front. If you feel in the front, that means you're doing it wrong. Same thing, sets of 10 to 15, 3 to 4 sets. Nice and slow, just like that. Again, if you have different choice of resistance, if it's too much, go to a lighter one, which is the red one, okay? All right, now I'm gonna show you with the other arm from the back so you can see how that looks. So from here, make sure the line of pull is good. And then I'm just gonna pivot off this way. Okay, so the next one, the last one I'm gonna give you guys is very important. It's actually gonna help strengthening your lower trap as well as your rotator cuff muscle. The lower trap actually help move your shoulder blades up this way, so that way you can have better upward rotation. So when you go to move up your arm overhead, you get all this muscle activated, right? So all you're gonna need, incline bench, or actually you can lay flat if you want. And you wanna start out really lightweight. So I have like 2.5s right here. So with the incline bench, what you wanna do is you wanna lay here. You wanna keep your arms up, just like what we did on the Scaption. Arms out to the side. And you're gonna lift up here. And from there, notice I don't wanna hike my shoulders up. I wanna keep this down. Thumbs up like so. I wanna go reps 10 to 15, 3 to 4 sets. And again, control your way down nice and slow. Try not to rush this one. All right, so I'm gonna give you a bonus one. This one's actually a lot harder, but I'm gonna give it to you anyways because it's one of my best ones that I give to all my throwing athletes. So we just went over this, right? So this is the exact same concept where you're still spinning everything down. Notice I don't have the towel here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep this here. I'm gonna bring this up to 90 degrees. Notice the band's gonna try to pull me this way. My job is not to let it pull me. I'm gonna keep my arms here, right, at 90 degrees to gauge it. And all I'm gonna do, I'm gonna bring it up and down. And my job is not to let the band pull me this way. So you're gonna do sets of 10 to 15 here. There you go. And again, this thing's gonna be very, very tiring when you're doing this. And if you're having a hard time reaching overhead when you're doing shoulder press and everything else, that's what we're gonna do. All right, so that's my go-to rotator cuff strengthening exercises. I want you guys to give that a go to make sure that you can actually stay healthy, injury-free, so you can actually keep maintaining your progress. And again, if you're having that shoulder pain, elbow pain, give it a go. And let me know what you guys think in the comment, and I'll see you next time.